this is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to another episode of Toilet Side Wrestling Talk. Today's guest hails from the great state of New Jersey. That's where Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi are from, and began wrestling in 2018. They've worked for Game Changer Wrestling, Camp Leapfrog, Pizza Party Wrestling, Black Label Pro, Chikara, Southern Underground Pro, to name a few. They're part of the tag team The Outfielders with their cousin Boomer Hatfield, and they've shared the ring with the likes of Calvin Couture, Tyler Klein, Hermit Crab, Lady Frost, Logan Easton LaRue, Erica Lee, Still Life with Apricots and Pears, Masha Slamovich, to name a few. In 2020, Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked her in their top 500 wrestler list, regardless of gender, and she came in at number 491. She was also nominated by PWI in 2020 for their Rookie of the Year. If you want to check out their matches, head over to IWTV, and there are plenty. So let's welcome today's guest, the grittiest girl in the game, Molly McCoy. Hi, Molly McCoy.
Hello, Brad Marcus.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. My first question. Every clip in there was you, correct?
Yes, correct.
Because my nightmare is that I'll play the thing and it's not, one of the clips is not the person. And then I edit that out and then edit out the awkwardness of them telling me that it's not them. So it creates several problems.
See, that's the one bummer with being Molly McCoy is that it's a normal name. I don't get to be like Still Life with Apricots and Pears.
Yeah.
Clearly, that is clearly her. That is clearly that wrestler. But, it's also funny that that's how I learned there is also a rapper from Philly named Molly McCoy.
Really?
Fun fact, didn't know that. I think she's
good?
from Philly. I haven't listened to her yet, so
okay.
I'm gonna assume she's good.
Okay, yeah, probably. With a name like Molly, you know what I mean? Like, it's got to be like pretty talented.
I will get to listening to her though.
So where are you right now? Not street address.
Not street address.
Unless you want to, that's fine.
No, we're all right with that. I do still need a PO box actually. Thank you for reminding me because awesome. I don't necessarily want to give out my street address. Sure. But we are right outside of beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Where we have been anytime that we are not working because we are still in a pan pizza and I don't like leaving the house.
Yeah. Have you been out in like say like a Walmart or a Target or anything?
Unfortunately, yeah. And for the most part in this area, people are pretty good about social distancing and masks and everything. I prefer like not to spend any more time out than I really need to. Like if I really I need to get out of the house, I usually just walk around the neighborhood, play a lot of Pokemon Go.
Oh, totally. And it's not like you're like running out of time. You know what I mean? Like my grandma's like 97. My grandpa's 101.
Oh my God.
They're running out of time. But like for now, I don't mind staying in for, I guess, a year.
Yeah, it sucks a little bit, like, especially as I have friends who are all like, I'm going to be in Tampa for Mania weekend. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in Tampa, but I do like you. Like,
it's really hard because, like people want to go do something. And I feel like No, we've made it this far. I don't want to start like risking things now until like everyone gets like their vaccination and stuff like that.
Right,
Um,
especially when like I understand why people want to do things, and
mhm,
like wrestling is a small business
yeah,
like any other small business. Like, well, I either or I gotta close. Like a lot of people don't have that option,
yeah, no,
so I can't be that
absolutely.
mad about it.
So did you grow up in New Jersey?
I grew up back and forth between New Jersey and Vermont, but
Okay.
spend most of my time in the Philly, Jersey area. So that's where I choose to bill myself from, and especially
Okay.
like Voorhees is kind of a layered joke, between like
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees, and it's where the Flyers practice. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, is is the Jason Voorhees thing like very prominent in the town? Do they embrace that?
No, unfortunately not. I think it
Okay.
would be funny, but I think Camp Crystal Lake is supposed to be in New Jersey. I think that gets mentioned in the movie. I'm not
I should
100% sure.
I should ask you this at the end, but I'll ask you now. Would you ever go to a camp called Camp Crystal Lake?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, really?
I think that'd be super fun.
Okay.
I love like haunted houses and like getting scared for fun. I love watching like just watching, not actually
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
like urban exploration type
Uh-huh.
videos where people like sneak into abandoned mental hospitals and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Like it looks fun. I don't know if I want to take the risk of falling through the floor, but that's pretty neat.
Did you ever see the movie Sleepaway Camp?
I love Sleepaway Camp.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think, and this just came to me, and well, it came to you first, so I guess we have to go 50-50. Themed summer camps. Like haunted summer camps.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, like
That'd be
Camp
fun.
Crystal Lake theme. Like people go
Yeah, the
pay
Sleepaway
tons of
Camp
money
thing.
to go to Jurassic Park in Florida.
True.
Like so. I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Let's talk more about you. Bruce Springsteen fan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big like is everybody in New Jersey a Springsteen fan?
No, some people have very strong opinions about the boss, and are either like love him or hate him. But I don't think he's super popular among like my age group. I really got into Bruce because of my dad. Uh,
Okay.
my dad's a massive fan,
Wait, can I
and
ask how old your dad is?
my dad is like early 60s.
Oh, okay, okay. Go
Yeah,
on. I
so
thought you
like
were gonna say he was like my age. I'm like, oh my God,
no,
he's so
like
old. Because
like
I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. That's why I got worried for a second.
he my dad was in his 20s when Greetings from Asbury Park came out, so he was like going to the smaller like Stone Pony shows that Bruce was playing before he
Oh,
really
cool.
blew up.
Is your dad
And
around?
I think he's downstairs. I don't know if I can go grab him. He might
No,
have
no, no, that's fine. Okay, go on.
he is also a musician, so he's probably playing guitar or piano right now as
Oh,
we speak.
cool.
But my one of like my big goals in life, and I'm super happy that I got to do this prior to the pandemic, because I don't know when I would get the chance to do it after, was to go see Springsteen in concert, but it was to go with my dad. I wanted my dad to take me, and we wound up going to like his record-breaking show, because Bruce is known for playing like 3-hour shows, and he
Oh,
played
yeah.
4.5 hours, like half past midnight.
Oh, you guys went to that?
Yeah, we were at that
Oh my
one.
God.
Yeah.
Were you exhausted afterwards?
I was pumped. I was stoked afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
but by 4.5 hours in, we were like, "Damn, does Bruce really have this much music? Holy crap!" He really he played a little bit of everything. He played Streets of Philadelphia, which he only plays in
Really?
Philadelphia. So
Uh-huh.
it was cool.
That's
And
awesome. And
now I have to take my dad to see the 1975, because he's a massive fan of them, but I didn't know that until we went to see Springsteen. And the 1975 is one of my favorite bands of all time. Little did I know my dad loves them.
yeah, I was gonna say, you guys didn't know that?
No, it was just, well, like my dad and I talk music, but I don't really know like what what current acts he's into. I know he's also like a big Jason Isbell fan. If you hear folk music. But I just was not anticipating him to say like, yeah, I really love the 1975 and I'd like to see them live.
Since you found this information out, is your dad, is he go to technology? Like, does he have music on his phone, his iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten a hold of his iPhone since you had that conversation to see what he is interested in?
I have not. Unfortunately, I've still been, I have a regular job during the pandemic. I am essential. So I don't get to spend a ton of time at home looking through what my dad's listening to. I know he's very into jazz right now, but I'm not a big jazz person.
Is it possible he has the song "What About Your Friends" by TLC on his phone?
Is there
any shot that that's on there?
Low possibility. Okay. That would be cool though.
Okay.
I'll have to ask him.
I don't know where to fit this question, so I'll ask now. Is working for like Camp Leapfrog and Pizza Party, is that more fun than working at other like traditional promotions?
Normal promotion.
Normal, yeah. Like,
standard.
Is there like a different attitude? Because it seems like it's a lot more fun. So I'm wondering, like, is it more fun behind?
I would say Pizza Party is really like super outlandish, aside from like a couple of the wackier shows that we've done, like Bout for Clout, which was just a super fun one-off thing where Dan, the promoter, was like, you got a crazy character? You want to do something like real wacky 90s theme? Now's the time. And initially for that, Boomer and I were going to team and be Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. But that also would have been a little bit weird being cousins. And then he wound up getting put in another match and we got split up. But so be it.
Okay.
I do kind of look at them as like, it's more getting to hang out with my friends and have fun than it is like a job. I still treat it like a job because I never know who's going to be watching the show and I want to give my best possible performance every time. But when I show up at the show, I know like, oh, these are going to be a bunch of my friends who like I stream on Twitch with every Tuesday and I watch pay-per-views with, and you know, the people that I've regularly seen during the pandemic. So it's the people that I feel really safe with.
Okay.
On top of just the friends that I get to hang out with all the time. But yeah, I'd say it still feels like a job, but those feel more like, you know, not such a high stress job, an easy day on the job.
So say you wake up on a Saturday morning, like the morning of a show. Are you, when you have one of those shows that night, like do you wake up excited to like go see your friends and get in the ring that night? Or as opposed to like if you're working at like Southern Underground or something, and is it going to work where you wake up thinking, oh, I have to go to work tonight?
I still the only times when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work is when it's like a 10-hour drive to stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that ever fun?
It is fun. It's fun. It's fun on the drive down. It's fun for the first like 8 hours. It's fun when you haven't talked to people in a little bit, so you got a lot to catch up on, and then you're like, well, out of stuff to talk about.
Are you making these drives alone?
No.
Okay,
No.
I was gonna say
when I did SUP, it was that was the last show I did before everything closed down, and that was a crazy show. Not just because it was probably the biggest match of Boomer and mine's career. We got to wrestle Violence is Forever, Koo and Greeny. And I would love to run that match back when Boomer and I have a little more experience under our belts, because I think that was probably the biggest handicap in that match was that was maybe only like my 20th match or something.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying not to get off track. Why? That was so crazy because that was also when a tornado hit the Basement East, where SUP usually has their shows, and it tore apart the Basement East. So then, like, real quick, they had to find a replacement venue, like, the week of.
How does that happen?
The pandemic is going on. Like, Main Street in Nashville is totally closed down. They wound up at the Exit Inn, which is like a historic venue. But even like in the hours we were driving down, myself, Boomer, and Wheeler Yuta were a carload going down. And Yuta was supposed to be booked, but he got a concussion. So then he wound up doing commentary with AJ Gray, which personally, I feel like that kind of worked out for the better.
Sure.
The commentary team we got. But no, did not do that drive alone. It's crazy that show even Abby's getting rocked and COVID starting to take hold.
Yeah.
Like, people were texting us. I think it was Jesse, right? Just Jesse, who's the announcer there, was like, if y'all don't want to come down, totally understand. We don't even know like who's showing up.
Okay.
It's like the last fans show that I did where masks were not required before everything started locking down. I've done fan shows since. H2O has had like socially distanced fans and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can't believe it's already been like a year.
Me neither.
It's nuts.
It feels like 10.
Yeah, I still feel like there's some things like from Halloween 2019 on that just happened a couple months ago. But it's a long time ago. Enough about me. So let's can we go back in time a little bit? Well, after your parents met, obviously. Growing up.
Yeah.
So did you grew up around like music?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
So, yeah. My dad was always he didn't have a home studio yet. Mm-hmm. And this house is a good like 70 years old, so the walls are very thin. Wow. But my parents' bedroom is shares a wall with mine. So I'd hear my dad playing guitar like every night from the time I was like 5 to 8 years old.
Mm-hmm. Did you like listening to his music? Like, did you appreciate it when you were that young?
I did, especially because I had really bad insomnia as a kid. Oh. So it was like, all right, I have something to listen to. And
like a lullaby almost.
Yeah. And then when he wasn't playing music, I had to settle for the CD player. I'm still old enough to have had a CD player.
Yeah, it's a Discman. So were you like into like arts?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really discover pro wrestling until like I was a little bit older. There was like my Uncle Dasher had been doing it for a long time, but I didn't really get into that. Like even as when I was a kid, it was middle of the Attitude Era, so everybody knew about wrestling. Like I knew about D-Generation X and the NWO and everything, but and Sting, but I didn't watch it particularly because I wasn't a super duper athletic kid outside of hockey. I typically got picked on teams last, so I kind of gravitated a little more toward theater. And the arts, and that's where I spent a lot of my time. And that's what I thought I was going to go to school for, actually. I was a dancer for several years and thought I was going to go to college to study contemporary ballet. And that didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
I broke
my wife is a dancer too. And we moved down here to University of Illinois last year. Because she, teaches here now and is like assistant head of the department.
That's cool.
So maybe I could get you in, but I don't have that much pull.
Ooh, you want to hear a crazy fact that I learned about after probably a year or two in Jakarta? Princess Kimberly came to Philly because she was going to school for dance here. She went to school for like dance pedagogy or something like that.
Oh, wow.
But it was at the school that I had intended to go to if I hadn't broken my foot. And we did a little simple math and figured out that I think she would have been a year ahead of me, but we would have been in a lot of the same classes.
Oh, wow.
And encountered each other a lot sooner than
that would have been funny.
Than we would have had we not started wrestling. So I thought that was pretty funny.
So do you think that like there's a big relationship, right, between like your theater dance background and being a pro wrestler?
It's oftentimes they share a lot of similarities where in dance, especially ballet, where you're doing like a pas de deux, dance of two, and you have to work together. There's a lot of that exchange of motion and that rhythmic back and forth, especially in lucha with like the llave style that a lot of Chikara people do. There is a constant working together and exchange of motion that's really similar to dance. So I didn't pick up on it as fast as I thought I would, but there were definitely a few things where I was like, oh, I get what we're getting at here. If only I was a little bit more, if I had a little more shoulder strength.
Oh, totally.
I am not the best at bass, unfortunately.
Did you have did it help you with your footwork in the ring?
Not necessarily, because a lot of the footwork in wrestling, people don't realize until they start training to wrestle, is to make as little motion as possible and take as few steps as possible. That way, you know, when you're taking a step in the ring, oftentimes like it'll sound like a bump, and you want to save that, like those sounds, like, you know, you don't want to be slapping your leg constantly because like you want to save that sound for the big kick.
Oh, that makes sense.
The same thing with footwork, where you don't want to be stepping all over the place, but I don't think that was really focused on in dance a whole lot. I don't remember my teachers yelling at me to stop moving around. So
yeah, I guess you would remember that.
Like I did in wrestling.
So would people from like that you grew up with and that you went to high school and stuff with, would they be shocked to know that you became a pro wrestler?
Yes and no. Because by the time I was done high school, I was telling a lot of people that that's what I wanted to pursue. I got really back into wrestling. Probably about like junior year of high school, I want to say. Which like,
what were the circumstances of that happening?
Boomer had Monday Night Raw on one night, and I came downstairs and said, "Why do you have this on?" And he said, "I don't know, felt like it." And then we just nonstop started watching Raw, and then SmackDown got added to the rotation.
He'd never seen it either. He just landed on it and like, there's nothing on.
He'd seen it, and like he'd kind of like had the inkling to watch it again. Since Uncle Dasher was on a pretty good run by that time, and like we'd been to Chikara shows and everything, but like just really didn't know what was going on in the WWE. So. Boomer just happened to have Raw on, and then like we were just nonstop watching it, and then just started doing wrestling moves in the family room. And by like my senior year of high school, I had it really in my head, like, man, like if dance isn't gonna work out, like I really want to at least try and, you know, see what's going to happen with wrestling, especially because I'd read a lot of like wrestler stories about how they'd started out, and so many of them had started out when they were like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
The most years under their belt. But,
so you were aware of that.
Yeah. But my parents were like, nope, you're going to get your degree. You're going to get your degree first. And then if you want to wrestle, then you're going to pay for it, and you're going to get the car and the driver's license to go do it. So I got my degree.
Okay, what happened with dance?
I broke my foot, so I had to stop.
Oh my God. Was that crushing?
It sucked. It did, especially because I hadn't had an injury that major until like, you know, the months where you have to audition for college. And
oh God.
It was like, well, you're going to college after high school, so you better pick something else, because it's like you're not going to be able to take that gap year where your foot's going to heal, and then you have to re-choreograph an audition dance and everything. But I wound up switching my major to English, and I took a whole bunch of like dance extracurriculars like
cool.
minutes and stuff. So like I still worked it into my schooling, but yeah, I stopped dancing after that. It was a good run.
Did you wait to graduate before college before training?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
But I had initially, when I picked the school that I went to a college in the middle of Philly.
Okay.
I picked the school that I did with thinking like, oh, I can save the money and then I can just like take a bus because I didn't drive at the time or have a car. I can take public trans to either like, I think this was Shakara and CZW shared the ECW arena and we're training out of there. And I think that was my plan, was to go start training there. But I that didn't happen because I had crushing social anxiety, and I also didn't have money, and I was getting bogged down with schoolwork.
God.
That kind of fell by the wayside again. But when I had picked my school, my intention was, oh, I'll go to college and then wrestling training at the same time. Didn't work out until I got out of college, and then I saved the money, and then I said, well, I'm really not having fun working 40 hours a week at Starbucks. And by that point, I was like 22, 23, and I was like, I'm not getting any younger. Let's see what's going to happen with wrestling.
Had your desire to become a pro wrestler changed at all over those years, from like high school to graduating and after college?
A little bit. I still kept up with wrestling pretty heavy. I was watching it like 4 days a week. My roommate was really sick of it.
Yeah.
He was not a wrestling fan. But I at that point, like I was in school, so I kind of just focused on school because I didn't know what else to focus on.
Yeah. Were your parents nice enough to let you live at home while you were in school?
Yes.
Or did they make you move out at 18?
No. I've been very fortunate with how they still let me live at home, especially during the pandemic. Sure. And a big part of it is because I do not want to live alone. I hate the thought of living alone, and I just haven't hooked up with a roommate or a partner, and nobody wanted to move out yet.
I remember like living alone and like thinking to myself, oh my God, I haven't even heard my own voice in like 4 hours. You know, and I hated that. It was the worst feeling.
I would hate not having anybody else in the house, because like then I don't have anybody else to tell me to get out of bed in the morning. Nah, that's bad. I did live in the city for a little while I was in school, though. I had roommates, and I've stayed in touch with a few of them. But I spent like about half of school. I spent half of it like in apartments with roommates, and then at home. My one roommate moved to Japan. So she's living her best life out there now. She wanted to be an English as a second language teacher, and she wanted to learn more about. She's really into Harajuku street fashion. She's made it into several magazines. So
yeah, Japan's the place for her.
Hell yeah.
Do you have like a best friend still from growing up?
Boomer.
Okay. Okay, so my question was, does your best friend ever come see you wrestle? So the answer is yes.
Yeah, well, he's on the
yes plus.
But I do. I have another best friend that I made in like 3rd grade. Her name is Susan, and she came out to a few Chikara shows. What's extra funny is she is a massive Orange Cassidy fan, and she had no idea that he was my trainer. So that was really funny for her to come to a Chikara show.
Did she know that?
No, she did not know that Hollow Wicked and Orange were my primary trainers. So that was pretty funny for her to figure out.
Speaking of training, when you were driving there or taking transportation or getting a ride to your first day, were you like confident, or
no?
Were you scared?
I was so nervous. I had a massive panic attack. Oh, geez. Yeah. I was like crying on my way in. I was so worried that like everyone was going to see me like with post crying face too.
Were you able to
Um,
sleep the night before?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah, I imagine.
I was I was so nervous, and I was telling I had gotten a ride from a friend that day so I could have somebody to talk to before and after. And I
Mhm.
remember just telling him like, "Man, what if this doesn't work? What if I suck? What if I take a bump and I'm just like, no, this isn't for me," because I
Yeah.
didn't have a plan B.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really know what else I was going to do. I got done my degree with
Uh-huh.
school and realized, man, this isn't what I want to do. Like, I don't
Mhm.
want to do anything with this English degree for the rest of my life.
Do you
Um,
have your parents' support at this point, like to train?
I had their support, but they didn't get it.
Okay.
So, like, they were really proud of me for,
Mhm.
making the money to go and put it toward an investment that
Yeah.
I was
Right.
making. Um, but they really like did not understand why I'm spending like 2 hours of my night like going straight from work to training to shower to bed. Like, and several times my mother would be like, "You're gonna make it home in a decent hour?" And I would be like, "I don't know. We might just have open ring time after class, and we might just screw around for another 3 hours."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there'd be a few times where like my my I don't know what I'd call them, my colleagues, my
Mhm.
class, my
Your
the,
colleagues.
the group of people that I came into wrestling with, that I trained with, like a lot of those people I consider my absolute best friends on the planet, and we
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
gelled really well together. So like if Hollow Wicked would be like, "All right, go ahead, open ring. You guys go ahead and do whatever you want, and I'll supervise." And we'd wind up being there till like 1, 2 in the morning sometimes, just figuring out like things that we can do and trying
Was
new
that
stuff.
the best part? Like those times?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's what I miss the most, not having been to training for a while, is seeing those people on a weekly basis
Yeah.
and getting to move around. I'm a lot more stagnant than I would like to be right now.
Uh-huh.
And
How how often were you going to training?
at the most, like right before I debuted, 3 times a week,
And
which is
then
a lot.
do you also have to like go to a go to the gym as well? Like,
I also
or
had to
you're
go to
getting
the
all
gym.
that from training?
I also had to go to the gym. I did have to take a few rest days because your body just, if you're training that much, your body's not going to have time to recover, and you need
Uh-huh.
your body some time to recover. I think was the biggest thing that I learned uh, when I started out with training. Um, but I don't love the gym. It's
Mm-hmm.
not my favorite place to be. So I did a lot of like at home working out, but like, man, after, you know, 6+ hours of training a week, it was exhausting. And I didn't debut until I'd been training for about like almost 4 years, which is not
Yeah,
really
I
fair.
saw that. I saw that. I'm like, oh, I must have like written something wrong, like down
No,
incorrect.
you didn't. I started training August of 2015. I didn't debut for Chikara until the Infinite Gauntlet, May of 2019.
Oh my God. Did is there anything fun about training?
Oh, I love training. I
Oh,
think
okay,
it's super
okay.
fun. Yeah. Um, Training itself is super fun, especially when you have people that you really like gel and mesh with and enjoy training with.
Was your
Um,
first day, was there like a group of people? It was all their first day? Or it's just people come in
it
along?
was it was people just like kind of came in like
Hmm.
it wasn't all of us at once.
Okay.
Like Travis Huckabee had been there for a few months prior to me coming in,
Hmm.
but I would still consider him like part of my generation of Chikara.
Sure.
And then Razor Wing came a few months after. Boomer didn't start training until maybe the year after I did.
Why,
Which is
why
actually
why was there Why did he wait?
Why did he wait? He was doing other things.
Oh, okay.
He was really into CrossFit for a little while before that, so he was doing like CrossFit games and stuff. He was still staying active, but he didn't hop into wrestling as fast. But it was funny that he started after me, and then like I think it took like 8 months for him to debut because he's just such a natural athlete, and I am not. But that's why we work well together, because he's the athlete.
Totally.
And then I am the overdramatic actor sort of athlete. So
well, there's roles that make up a team, you know?
Opposites attract.
Like a marriage or something, you know what I mean? Like everyone brings a little something different to the table, and that's the team.
If we were exactly, we'd be boring.
So is it awesome, like having tag team matches? Do you prefer that?
I think I do.
Working together.
Yeah. I really like the dynamic of tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling has a certain like drama or tension to it that singles wrestling doesn't. I also just feel less pressure in tag matches. When in singles matches where all of the focus is on me, I feel so stressed to like fill time and like not have dead air, but like sometimes you need dead air in wrestling. Sometimes you need like that time for like things to settle, and the
reset,
audience to understand what just happened. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I had to overcome, training and learning about commanding the ring, especially like going from dance to wrestling. In dance, everything I ever did was 100% choreographed. Wrestling is not always like, sometimes you go out there and you're not totally sure what you're going to do.
It's not someone else's piece that they're setting the steps for you.
Exactly. And then I have to set the steps for me. And sometimes I'll second guess myself and be like, man, is that the right step to take? Is this what I should really do here? And sometimes somebody will have a better idea and I'll be like, thanks, person that had a way better idea than me. Like, when I wrestled Ava Everett for Pizza Party, it was a great match. It was an even better match because Anthony Green helped us out with it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about your foot at any point during training and coming up? That was never a concern?
No. My foot was in pretty good shape because that was maybe like 5 years ago when I broke it, started training. I did break both ankles though. In the time that I spent training, not at the same time, a year apart, but it was on the same thing. And it was a freaking kip up. I can't do a kip up. What a
And you won't do one anymore, correct?
No, I'm not going to do one anymore. And I used to get a lot of heat in training because I didn't want to do a kip up or I'd be scared about it. But it was because I'd broken each ankle trying to do it.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't try. But the second time that I tried and I broke it a second time, I told myself, I think this is the universe telling me to keep my feet on the ground. Yeah,
or they're telling you need to seek the technology to have a third leg put on your body and you can try it one last time.
And then I can break that one.
Yeah, totally. And it'll just end up being like a tail at that point.
Exactly. Like I don't
your appendages.
Right.
Okay, I don't know if you can answer this, and I probably shouldn't ask this, but on a scale of 0 to 100, where do you think you are as a wrestler? 100 being like
100 being the absolute best, and 0
the best
being...
he's great in the ring, person's great on the mic, everything.
I certainly don't think I'm 100 because I'm not Maki Ito.
You're not?
But I don't think I'm 0 either because I don't think I'm the absolute worst. I don't know. I don't even want to say 50 because...
Oh, you know what? How about this? How much more do you have to along with the way to be a complete wrestler?
I think I'm at I think I was at 75% pre-pandemic, but I think that I have had a lot of setbacks thanks to the pandemic. I don't feel like this is my absolute best work, but it can be.
Okay.
I feel like I'm at 65% now. And when I can get back to training on a regular basis, I feel like that's when I'm really going to be able to kind of recollect my shit. Get it all back together. Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Of course. Is your mom in the room?
No, and I think she's pretty cool with it, actually.
Say whatever you want.
She used to not be cool with it. Now she's pretty cool with it.
You can call me a foul name too. I don't care.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I'll provoke you.
Yeah, I'd say I'm at like 65% right now, but I definitely have the ability when the world opens back up. And that's not an excuse. That's a fact of the matter. That's just current world that we're in. It's
affected everybody's work.
Yeah,
is thrown off.
I'm still taking like the bookings that I feel most comfortable taking. I'm still trying to, get myself out there. I'm trying to eat well and stay fit, but it's not been an easy time.
Like, so do you look forward to wrestling more? Like once the pandemic is
Once I get vaccinated, I will very much look forward to wrestling more. Yeah.
Okay. Do you miss it?
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks being stuck in the house or just at my day job all the time.
Yeah.
I would love it if my day job was, at the NXT Performance Center and I get to train and wrestle as my job.
Totally.
That sounds incredible. But,
maybe this isn't another fair question to ask because maybe you don't like talking about yourself. So, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, top 500 in the world. Do you like buy like a dozen copies? Like, are you like proud of that, or is it like when Robert De Niro wins an Oscar? It's like I don't need awards.
I was surprised, honestly.
Did you have any that you were even on their radar?
No, I had no idea I was
even
500
different wrestlers.
I had no idea I was even on their radar. So to make it in there at 492, I found out when a Chikaro regular fan tagged me in a list of notable people that are making their first appearance on this list. This was also the first time women and non-binary people were on the list. And they had tagged me in that, and I was like, wait, did I make the list? Or are you saying I should have made the list? And he was like, no, you made the list.
I mean, were you shocked?
Yeah, I didn't expect it at all. I'm proud of it. Absolutely.
Did you okay, here we go. Are there at least 3 copies of it in where you're living right now? Could you find? I'm not going to have you do this, but if I said go get 3 copies of it right now, would you be able to?
There are no physical copies of it because I don't have a ton of space, and I don't have a ton of space for materials because many materials are already taking up the space.
Sure.
I have every single thing screenshotted and saved. I have the article. A bunch of my friends bought copies of it. So if I really wanted a copy, I think Joshua Wavera has 12 copies or something, and I can grab one from them if I really want to. But I have everything saved to look at just in a digital format.
Have you ever, and this is probably mean, said to Boomer, do you want me to autograph a copy of that Pro Wrestling Illustrated?
Oh my God, I totally would. Boomer's ranked even higher than me, though. So he'd probably ask if I wanted him to autograph. Yeah. He would sign it over my blurb in there. Or he would do it over Still Life's photo because she got a whole photo spread in there.
Totally. So, okay, so then you have that, and then you get nominated for Rookie of the Year. And you've only been, as you said, since 2019?
Yeah.
And how do you find out about that? Is anybody, cluing you in that, hey, PWI?
No, nobody from PWI is telling us in advance or anything like that.
So you make their 500 list, and they don't even, send you an email, hey.
No, I found out the same time as everybody else. But Rookie of the Year was even funnier because I was in a group chat with Wavera, Xavier Faraday, Jody the wrestler, and I think that was everyone that was in that group chat. And we all made that nominations for Rookie of the Year. So all 4 of us got to celebrate and find out at the same time. And that was actually really exciting because I don't think any of them had gotten on the 500. And I thought that was kind of lame that they didn't make the 500. So I was really excited for the Oreos and Jody to make it.
Yeah.
Even though we got our asses handed to us by Dominic Mysterio, but that was kind of to be expected.
Yeah, whatever. Is wrestling your favorite job you've ever had?
Either that or I also worked in a haunted house, and that was one of my favorite jobs that I've ever had. I think is my number one, though. That haunted house job was up there, though.
Yeah, I always say Subway in high school was my favorite job, and it's literally gone downhill since then.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you have experience in the haunting industry. I'm telling you, this camp idea could blow up.
It could.
I didn't realize you've already been on the inside of that industry.
Yeah. My job. I've been a spooky nurse for the past 6 Halloweens because I had to manage a spooky hospital.
Do you use fake blood? Not as opposed to real blood, but like.
Oh my God! And the building that I worked out of, the fake blood is stored everywhere, and we constantly would have to move it around. Even when events were being held that weren't related to the haunt or anything. I'd be 10 minutes in and moving a bucket of fake blood and be like, cool, I'm not even in the haunt tonight. And corn syrup is all over my hands. Wonderful.
Does it stain your hand to the point where
it stains your clothes?
Oh, it's really? More so, even if you wash it out?
Yeah, I have I have a denim jacket that just has all of these fake blood stains on it that I can't really wear anymore because out of the fear that people are gonna think that it's real blood.
I was gonna say you should wear it on an airplane.
Maybe.
Next time you travel.
I don't know about that.
It'll make a statement.
It will. It'll definitely get me some attention. I don't know if it'll be good or bad attention, but
all right. I'm gonna let you go shortly. More so I don't get in trouble.
Thank you. It is getting dark in here.
Yeah, totally. And you guys have electricity, right?
Yes. Okay. Pennsylvania's been in pretty good shape. We are supposed to be getting weather tomorrow and Friday.
That's probably what we just had. I'm in Champaign.
Okay. Yeah. Is it really?
We got killed.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it was awful. Where the dog you can barely see in the snow.
Oh my God. But you have power, so that's good.
I have electricity. Yes.
That's major.
Okay. Can I ask you 5 random non-wrestling related questions?
Please do.
Okay. The first one is, have you ever had a dream that you were an animal?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember a lot of my dreams.
Sure. No, I know. Some people do, some people don't.
Right. I've considered keeping a journal, but then actually I did used to keep a journal, and I reread my dream journal not too long ago, and I was like, I've had some weird dreams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did anything make sense?
It made sense, but a lot of it, they turned into nightmares and stuff, and I'm like, why did I write this down?
Yeah, totally.
I want to remember this.
Why is that in your head? Well, we'll write it off to the foot injury.
Yeah.
That's why you can't remember your dreams.
That's where the trauma stems from.
Do you have a favorite city in any terror sponsoring country in the Middle East?
Wait, what was the question again?
I just wanted to know if you had a favorite city in any of the terror sponsoring nations in the Middle East. No. Okay. No, that was the correct answer. So, good job. Can you swim with your eyes open?
Yes.
Okay. If you had the power to turn invisible, would you rob a bank? And I'm gonna add something. I'm gonna throw something else at you. Would you rob a grocery store?
I don't think that would be at the top of my list. No. I'm not sure what the first thing I would do is, but that is not the first thing that would come to mind. I think more so just the shock of being invisible, like, would
Yeah.
take a while to set in.
All the movies you'd go to would be free unless you went with somebody.
This is true.
Okay, the final question. And think about this. For $2 million, would you eat peyote tomorrow?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
Because I didn't want to give you any, like, I'll give you just like a night to sleep, and then you got to do it for the $2 million.
I don't think so. No.
Would you, just going down this rabbit hole, would you do it for $10 million?
Still, probably not.
You and your parents would never have to work again except for fun if you like.
I know, but I don't think I want that experience under my belt.
Yeah, to run with your animal spirit.
No, I think I pass. Although 10 million's a lot. I don't know. That might be one to sleep on.
I was only able to secure 2. I was kind of just talking out of turn, saying maybe 10. I'm sorry. I apologize for getting your hopes up. All right. Molly, thank you so much for coming on. Are you going to be appearing anywhere anytime soon? I know that like a ton of your matches are on IWTV.
Correct.
So that's a great place, and obviously YouTube.
March 28th, the Cassandra Cup takes place. I've got Killian McMurphy in the first round, and that ought to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty excited. It's a Billy Dixon joint, so if you liked Paris Bumping, come watch the Cassandra Cup.
Oh, that's awesome. And you said that's March
28th. Yeah, we're
March
running
28th.
Against WrestleMania. So.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. In my house, you guys, you'll be very prominently featured.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Stay healthy, stay safe, and hopefully I can get you on in the future, or we can get that summer camp thing up and running.
For sure. And you as well, man.
All right. Take care. Bye.